Hello, it's Dr. Juice here. Today, for the interesting concept I'm going to tell you about, that's going to be about the idea of whether software is declining. So, in today's information age, we are swimming in technologies and code everywhere. Whenever you log onto your desktop or your computer, whatever website you go to, code is constantly being executed. If you're looking at your phone, watching TikTok videos, or if you're watching YouTube, code is being executed everywhere. What does this mean? This means there's a lot of different opportunities for errors to happen. Even at, say, a hotel room, you have electronic systems now for your key. You can swipe your card to get into your room at a hotel, but there's actually code behind the scenes that ties certain key cards to certain rooms and certain devices to certain key cards, and there are errors that can happen in these systems, right? It could be the case that you show up one night at your hotel and you can't actually get in. You need someone from behind the desk to run a couple commands or click a couple buttons that run commands that will reset this key, reset the device. This is actually one of the main remedies for errors. It's just resetting devices, resetting the state of whatever you're at to the beginning, because we don't actually know. Most of the time when some error occurs, we don't actually know why it happened. It would be quite a detective case to kind of figure out exactly why this error happened every time. Although that's certainly a detective task that happens at some larger companies. Larger companies will run these detective tasks on code and software to try to make their systems cleaner. But vast majority of cases, these errors don't know why they're happening. And we have more and more devices. They're very proliferate, which means these errors don't just show up at hotel rooms, they show up everywhere in life. And they're interacting with each other, just increases the amount of opportunity for error in these software systems. I'm sure you can just think of, if you pay attention to it over the course of the next day, you're going to notice some error that shows up in your system somewhere. And it's not that a user error, so it really is just something wrong with the systems. And you'll see this from small software companies to the most pristine ones like Apple or whatever. Even Apple, which is supposed to be having the most pristine software that doesn't have errors, I still am searching daily through my apps, and sometimes the search function stops working, as one tiny example. So there's this person named Jonathan Blow who has espoused the idea that software is in kind of like a dark ages, or it's just going to crap for a number of different reasons. And he is, I don't know, I think he's in his like 40s or 50s, so he was coding during the age where we were just starting to learn how to code as a society. We were just starting to integrate software into many things. And at that point in time, people just wrote better code, like more error-free code. They would have some type of quality check. Whatever it was, they just shipped code that just worked, and there was much less errors. I can't speak to that experience. I don't think I was old enough at that time to know what software was like. I don't think I was coding at that time either. That was a point in time where I would just take it as fact. That was a point in time where there was less errors. So is this really happening in society? Are we really seeing a decline in software? Or is that kind of just like something that you view through nostalgia glasses there? I would say actually that it's kind of a combination of both. As we just increase the number of opportunities to build software through apps that provide value to people, there's going to be many more workers coming in to work on it. So in Jonathan Blow's time, probably the people who were working on software were people who were very dedicated to that craft, right? There wasn't too much incentive to get into it. The people, they're big nerds, and they were just really they had like good pure motivations to get into it, and they were kind of obsessed with it. So you're really filtering down to a very small subset of people, whereas now it's very clear that you can go get a good high-paying job in software. So there's just swaths of people who are going into software for all sorts of different reasons. And then you have almost every company has software now, so there's not going to be an amazing software company that you work for. There's actually going to be a ton of crappy software companies or companies that do something else but still have software, and they don't really care about that software. They don't really care about the quality. They're probably putting their workers in bad systems, or there's also just going to be bad workers as well. So in that sense, you get a lot of software that is not great. In another sense, we do have just a much higher complexity environment than we did 20 years ago. So even if you had the same exact good quality of software engineers as you did 30 years ago, and you could control for each company having like good processes and so on, you would still get higher errors just simply due to a higher number of interactions. This software interacts with that software, you just get higher errors. As an example, hotels were maybe using more keys than physical keys. Now they use more digital keys, so just as a matter of fact, from that, you're going to get more errors just simply logically from that starting point. So we're going to get more errors no matter what, but I think also we see that there is a much wider gate for who gets to be a software engineer, and for many motivations, and that's probably also going to increase our number of errors. Additionally, you've got like the big companies that like the culture behind tech workers right now is actually a very lazy one. I know firsthand from my own experience, and honestly, in aggregate, I don't think software engineers work very hard, and there's a lot of different reasons why they're able to get away with that. One big reason actually is just that there's just not that much people with the skill set to do software. You have to have like a math logic brain for that, and the general population seems to be scared of those types of skills for whatever reason, even though I don't think they're that difficult to learn. So we have like a shortage of actual software engineers we can draw from, given the volume of technology that we need software for. So that's a big reason. There's a bunch of other like bad reasons, which I'll get into in some other video, but I'll leave it at that for now. What's the takeaway here? The takeaway is that there probably are a lot of systems and processes in place that are making software worse, but it's also, you can't deny the factor of just an increase in complexity of the world. Maybe one day we will come up with some more powerful theoretical software languages that lets us avoid all these errors and be more productive software engineers. But until then, we are going to have to swim in more errors, but hopefully develop a better culture around decreasing those software errors and getting more people into higher skilled programming. Okay, that's my daily thought for today. Like and subscribe if you'd like to hear more daily thoughts, more mind candy for you to eat and enjoy every single day, and I'll see you tomorrow.